This is how rare species clean a vacuum. It's kind of strange that he would put himself through that kind of torture. But I think it is a mating ritual. He knows his mate likes a clean vacuum, so he beats it, sacrificing himself. What happened was it was shooting sawdust all out its poo-poo choo-choo all over our bus.
Should not now. Should not now. Let's assume that it's going to work. I'm going to set it up for success so that you could drag it around by the cord.
That's what I like to do.
Doesn't matter. That's why this little head's kind of like that. You go like that, and then that way, if you drag it like this, it doesn't unplug it. Pretty cool, huh?
You are dreamy, aren't you?
Thank you. All right. Let's see if this thing sucks. Seems to be doing fine now.
All right, I'm one. So we're back at it. Clean the bus today.
Yeah.
Today we should finish cleaning the bus, filling the holes. We changed our plan. Instead of using caulking, we're gonna use this tape.
We're gonna use aluminum foil tape. So
That's what we were recommended by the
by
professionals.
a licensed professional.
My dad.
Yeah.
He's actually a pro.
He is, and he's licensed.
He's licensed, all kinds of licenses. So we're gonna try this tape. I think it's gonna be amazing. Then once we get the vacuuming done, the mopping done, we're gonna dry it around the holes, slap the tape on it, on all of the thousands of holes in the floor, and then we're gonna paint it with a rust coat paint, just white.
Yeah.
Because we have a very small amount of rust.
Very small. So small. It's
Minuscule.
really only like surface.
We're doing it as a preventative.
Yeah,
So.
absolutely. So that tape, so here's a little background why we're going with the tape. So originally we were gonna use the silicone, and what happens is when you have the silicone on there over time, vibrations, movement, it'll start to break out and away from the holes. So we were talking with Aaron's dad and was like, hey, what is a great alternative? He's just like, you should use foil tape. Doing the foil tape, he said, it actually gets really, really hard and brittle. Not really brittle, but it forms like its own skin because it's aluminum, it's metal, right? And he says that'd probably be a better idea. So we're gonna try that. Let us know in the comments what you did with your Skoolie or what you plan on doing for filling in the holes. We'd love to know.
Turn tootin' and so would our friends.
Cleaning time.
Because ain't nobody like waiting for a floor to dry, watching it evaporate. I just ripped a shirt in half, a crappy shirt that had really gross pit stains on it, and now I am going to wipe the floor down with my boots.
You want to tell the internet about what I did here?
Oh, Brian's a genius. He took ratcheting straps and took the coolant lines and strapped them up to, I don't know, some metal above the windows. So the coolant lines would be off the floor so we can paint it and we won't have to worry about them. Pretty smart, huh? Never skip leg day.
I belong to you.
We're going to be using foil aluminum tape. That's what it looks like. One piece cut. It's got a little backing on the back that keeps the sticky side protected. And so I had Aaron go to the barn and retrieve a cutting board. In this case, we're using a 2x4 as the cutting board. You could really use anything. I probably wouldn't use like a piece of metal to do it because we're going to use an X-Acto knife. This one's name is Olfa. Alpha L2. That's the one that we're using here. I like it because it's got like a little rolly wheel here, and you can adjust how long you want the blade. Ooh. Just by like adjusting the little rolly wheel here. And then you can lock it in place so that it doesn't move up or down. And if you need a sharper blade, there's little cut lines here that, there we go, that you can actually snap off a chunk. So that's nice. Anyway, you could see this probably either this one or something similar to it in the description down below. So check that out if you like. And so we've got, this is UL723 aluminum tape. We got a whole roll of it here, and basically it's just got all that white backing. And, oh, hi.
Hi there.
Hi, beautiful. So I'm using the cutting board, and I'm just going to cut little patches. So there we go. Got one patch done.
As he cuts them, I'm gonna stick them.
Do just what you want. You're the one to try.
So what I've done is I've pulled out the whole piece of tape and I've butted up against the end of the 2x4. And now what I'm doing is just putting my fingers are open like this, and then in between my fingers, go and cut. Move my fingers a bit, cut. That's my super fast cutting tape technique.
So, doing it the way that we've been doing it, cutting a lot of little patches and then peeling off the backings, works great for Aaron, but it doesn't work great for me because I don't really have the longest fingernails and it is difficult. So I found another way to do this. So if you have your roll of aluminum tape and you just have it sitting there with your cutting board or your 2x4, whatever you want to cut on, open up and peel the backing off of the tape. Put your thumb and your index finger down, cut a slice, and it sticks to your finger like that, and it leaves a tail for you to grab onto. So now you can find your next hole, which in this case, it is right here. Right here. And you can put it down. And then your next one that you need, you just pull off the tail a little bit more, hold it with your thumb and your index finger, cut off another chunk. So you've got sticky side up, and it makes it fairly quick for me. And
I have to admit, my way is not the fastest, but we don't have 2 rolls of tape, so I'm just gonna keep trucking along back here, and maybe Brian will do like a loop-de-loo and come meet me up here.
Ooh, that'd be nice. Look at all these patches so far on the floor. You can see them there, and through there, and up on the wheel well over there, and right through here.
There's like thousands.
Have you been counting how many you have?
No. Have you?
Neither have I. We'll continue on and we will report back because it's getting chilly out and we've already had a problem with paint being too cold.
Yeah.
The doo-doo hit it.
Not the
Check out this video if you haven't yet about the doo-doo.
Not the doo-doo. We're not gonna do the doo-doo again.
Nah, so we're gonna look at the forecast and see when would be a great time to paint the floor, and then we'll paint it, video it, and you'll see it when we do it.
Yeah.
It's been a few weeks.
Yeah, like
Maybe
3.
a couple.
Probably about 3. We got into the barn. The bus only got snowed on once, so that was good. We barely squeaked in the barn door.
How's it looking on the roof?
You lots of space. How's the roof, Dad?
How's the roof? Good. 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 Lots. Keep going.
Oh my God.
Keep going.
Keep going.
Here's the lid.
Ah!
Whoa. Whoa.
Whoa.
Okay,
right on it.
Did it hit it?
I wonder if we back it up and take that thing down.
So distracted or wrecked or what? No, it's fine. We're in the bus.
Good job,
The barn.
babe.
The barn's in the bus.
But now that we're in here and we've got all the gross tarps down and now the roof is no longer like sagging and touching the bus, we've got a lot of space.
Yeah, so we've spent a lot of time like preparing the space so it'd be ergonomic so that we can build easily and have a nice flow, because there's nothing that feels better than having an organized space that you can get work done and it makes you feel real good.
Yeah, so we spent several days trying to fix this ancient heater. And yesterday we were super lucky. We went to my grandma's place and we picked up a ton of tools that my grandpa used to use in his woodworking shop.
Yep, so we set up all the tools. We got a table saw, band saw, belt sander, scroll saw,
Yeah,
and all
lots
sorts
of
of other
saws.
different clamps and stuff like that. That's gonna help out this build so much. So thanks so much to
Yes.
you.
Gratitude, Grandma.
Yeah.
We have a lot more organizing and stuff to do, but enough with that for now. We really need to get to this bus. We're on a bit of a time crunch because of Brian's tourist visa, and the bus is a tourist in Canada right now. So we gotta keep it rolling. We're still working on Operation Seal the Deal. So today we are gonna seal the deal and put some paint on the floor and
Finish
the
painting the roof, yeah. So one of the issues that we're running into is it is getting cold here in Canada. So what we had to do was we had to find a heater of some kind. Luckily, one of the neighbors had a 250,000 BTU space heater sort of thing. Like this thing runs on oil and kerosene and diesel. We've got diesel in it right now. It's off right now.
Stanky.
But yeah, it does
But it
smell
works.
like diesel. But we had Aaron's dad come over here with the CO monitor, carbon monoxide, to check it. And it's burning clean, so it just has a diesel smell. So that's the
so do
only
we.
that's the only drawback to it. But this thing is ancient. It hasn't ran for probably years, and so we did some investigative work to try to figure out what was wrong with it. Figured out it was the igniter electrodes. Finally found a couple of those, put them in, and now we have a warm space. Warmish.
Yeah, like Brian's able to be in a t-shirt and I have a long sleeve on. So
Yeah.
it's nice to be comfortable in space and not be like all bundled up
Yeah.
like a snowman.
Yeah.
So
But let's get in, and we're gonna start with the floor. So as you already saw, we already taped the holes. Now we're gonna paint it with kind of like a rust preventative paint.
Yeah.
It's like the Rust-Oleum of Canada, essentially,
yeah,
right?
I think it's called rust coat.
Rust coat.
Yeah, so the floor is prepped, vacuumed, cleaned, all the things, and yeah, now we're gonna go seal the deal.
So it's cooling off a little bit. I'm gonna go ahead and fire up this this heater a little bit. All right, so with doing the painting that we're doing, the roof up here, the paint that we're using requires it to be 7 degrees Celsius for about 3 hours straight. So we've got the barn nice and warm. As you can see, I am in my t-shirt here. We ordered some thermometers, but they're not in yet, so I've got no idea what the temperature in here is. But it does feel warmer than 7 Celsius because outside, it is 6 Celsius today, and it's a lot warmer in here. So I'd say probably it might be like 15 or something like that. And the same for the rust coat preventative that we're putting in on the floor. It also needs to have a certain temperature so that it can cure.
Take me to your heart.
I belong to you.
Take me to your soul.
So we've got a floor mat set up because we vacuumed this thing a ton of times. We have a couple heaters set on the dashboard for all of our cold climate friends, you will understand. And then we've got one lamp set up at the front of the bus and then another one hanging off of our window into the back of the bus. And then we've got these two lamps pointing in because it's kind of dark in here. So we'll be able to see what we're doing. Let's go. That's it, floor's done. Next up, we gotta paint the roof. So we're gonna back up the poo-poo choo-choo of the bus.
That means the rear, if you haven't been following.
Yep, we're gonna just have a little bit of it poking out the barn door.
We're putting the butt out the barn door.
The butt out the barn door so we can paint the front half of the bus because we've got a little bit of an open area over about half of the bus.
Isn't a barn door normally the term for that
Like
area
back door.
on the back side of some long johns?
Yeah,
The barn door?
The back door on the long jump.
So we're gonna put the bus's bare ass out the barn door.
That's right. If you want to get technical. Yeah, so we're gonna back up the bus and paint the front half, then bring the bus in and then paint the other half.
All right, let's get to it.
Okay, so we backed up as much as we can and we're still under the ceiling a little bit, which is fine, but it's really raining a lot outside, so
Yeah, it is.
we can't back the bus up into the rain and sacrifice it getting cold because we've had these heaters pumping inside the bus warming it up, and then we've also got the big one in this room, so we need to keep the bus warm so the paint sticks.
We're doing this.
We're gonna do it.
All right,
So-
time to jump up on the roof and get
go.
this thing painted.
There's definitely some dribble drips
Dribble drips.
coming down onto our bus. I don't know where they're coming from though. That's satisfying. There we go. Found some solid ground. It's time to paint. We got a day finally where it's not raining so we can paint the front of the bus. The other day we thought we were gonna get a chance to back it up enough so we could paint the front and be under this hole. But it didn't work out that way. So today we're back and we're painting the front roof part of the bus. Let's do it. Cool. Okay. You already blew it off?
I already blew it off.
Cool. The floor looks so good. That's awesome.
We might have to take a little tour of the finished floor here in just a little while. And whenever I say finished floor, I'm talking about it painted white. Looks super freaking clean in there. So now I'm gonna climb up to the roof while Aaron paints the skirt, the shoulder area of the bus, and finish painting the roof. It's nice outside. We installed some thermometers and then also got an infrared thermometer that we're gonna check the temperature of the metal and see if it's okay to paint. Looks like it's good. It just needs to be above 7 Celsius. For all you doing Fahrenheit, that's 53 right there, right now. And let's go ahead and check that. Nice. Also hot.
Are you checking my temperature? What a weirdo. He loves this thing.
Also hot.
That's it for painting the roof.
Yeah, that was a ton of fun. I'm glad that we ended up getting the digital thermometer because I think that really helped because the skin temperature and ambient temperature needed to be warmer than 7 Celsius, and we got up to like 12, so that was good.
We did a good job. Until next time, friends.
Adventure on.
Adventure on. Bye.